politician, nobody is safe from his wrath. He's the business badass here on the warpath. Ghost, predicting the future. Ghost, sparking synapses. Ghost, the badass of business. Yeah, now get ready. True Catholic Radio starts right now. Now. Fucking punks.
Hell yeah! Happy Baller Friday! That's right, folks. Once again, we are live. And I want to thank you very much for tuning in with me to another edition of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost, and I want to thank you very much for tuning in with me. Before we get started, I'd like to ask everybody to please spread this show across the internets and throughout the world. And let everybody let them all know that the True Capitalist Radio broadcast is in effect and in the house. And once again, this is episode 695 for all the folks that are keeping track of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And I just want to make a little bit of a statement here. For whatever reason, D-Live is not accepting the stream. We've been having trouble with D-Live all day. We have no idea what's going on with D-Live. So there are other streams. If you happen to, see us on Twitter, you happen to see us on YouTube, you happen to see us. All right. Yeah. Well, all right. We're already getting some trolls. I do want to acknowledge some folks, though. We did have a new member of the True Capitalist Radio membership here. And I want to say what's going on to Robotistic. What's going on to Robotistic? And by the way, if you want to join the True Capitalist Radio membership, put the PC shot on. All you got to do is go to buymeacoffee.com/GhostPolitics. All right, there it is right there. And all you got to do is right here, join the True Capitalist Radio basic membership or become more of an advanced member, and you can chill with us after the show. Everybody who is in the chat room at the bottom left-hand corner is a part of the True Capitalist Radio membership, and it also provides us an opportunity to be able to prevent these troll terrorists and cyber vermin who like to, I guess, do tomfoolery with this show, even though I told these people to stay away. But hey, it is what it is what some of the urban demographics would suggest when discussing this type of problem. But anyway, folks, let's go ahead. It is Baller Friday, and let's talk a little bit about what the hell is going on here when it comes to finance, political, and social commentary. Happy Baller Friday to everybody. Let me go ahead and change places here, and let me go ahead and put myself to the side. Let's go ahead and get right into the markets. Let's not mess around with this on this Baller Friday. Now, very interesting situation that is happening right now in the market. I told you folks that you needed to look and watch this past Monday when I did True Capitalist Radio the last time. I told everybody to be very careful about this particular bull run on this market. I said, I made reference actually to NVIDIA and how they beat expectations, and now it's over $1,000 a share. And then they announced that they are going to split the stock. And folks, if you take a look at the old chart of Cisco Systems, it looks almost identical. And what ended up happening in Cisco Systems' scenario back in the early 2000s is that Cisco had an unbelievable stock price, similar to that, at least the trajectory, to that of NVIDIA. And then right after their biggest earnings announcement that pushed them over the top, they decided that they were going to split the stock. And right after that, folks, it all came tumbling down. All right, so that's just how it is. So anyway, this week, up until today, was a pretty negative week in the markets. And I think that we're headed in at this point to start decreasing when it comes to the market gradually. All right.
I'd buy that for $1.
And what's going on to Dave, Steve, and Larry? I'll go ahead and read yours in just a minute. Let me get past the markets, and happy Baller Friday to you guys. Cheers, man. But let's go ahead and take a look. If you take a look at this week's chart, when it comes to any indice, it looked pretty bleak up until today. Now, what got people at the end of the day feeling funny in the pants and deciding to start buy in, I have no idea. But I guess it's the end of the month. It's the beginning of the summer. I have no idea. But the Dow Jones Industrial ended up, you take a look at that chart. Look at this. Down all day, down all damn day, and then all of a sudden it takes this uptick right before the damn market closes. I don't think that's a good move. It's never a good move to start buying in on something, especially before a weekend, especially when you've got global disorder going on. But anyway, the Dow is up, believe it or not, 1.51%, closing out the Dow Jones Industrial at 38,686.32 points for the Dow Jones Industrial. The S&P 500 is up also. It is up 0.80%. Closing out the S&P 500 at 5,277.51 points for the S&P 500. And we got the NASDAQ. It was actually down up to like 1.5%, and all of a sudden it crept back up in the last moments of the damn market. Take a look at that chart. It is down very modestly, or closes out very modestly, 0.01%, closing out the Dow Jones at 16,735.02 points for the NASDAQ composite. Gold is also pulling a little bit back. It is down 0.79%. Current price for gold is $2,347.70 per troy ounce of gold. And oil is starting to pull back. And this has a lot to do with the fact that now, because of the current climate in the international community, you've got a lot of folks producing their own oil, particularly the United States of America, which is less dependent at this point in time for OPEC oil. OPEC is supposed to have some meeting next month, and they're expected to continue to cut. So this pullback in oil, in my opinion, is possibly, I think, a little bit premature considering whatever the hell OPEC plans on doing. And because they're not, having as many people dependent on them for oil anymore, I think that we anticipate a cut which should bump up that oil price just a little bit going into the summer. So we shall see what happens with oil. Now, what is everybody kind of helter-skeltering around the market about? Well, folks, take a look at this. This data came out from the Fed. Feds prefer inflation measure, which I was always under the impression that the preferred inflation measure was the consumer price index. But now they have switched it up to being the personal consumption expenditure price index, which is news to me. All of a sudden, that's the standard that the Fed goes by. But hey, what do I know, right? But anyway, this particular metric, the personal consumption expenditures price index, excluding food and energy, which I don't know how you could exclude that considering that that's a big portion of everybody's expenditures, it increased at a rate of 0.2% in April, and it was as expected. So the Fed, at least according to this metric, it is starting to see this inflation rate at around 2.7%. All right, so they're trying to suggest that this metric is what they're trying to get to, either 2% or close to 2%, which I always thought it was the consumer price index. All right, but you figure it how you will, because that consumer price index number is considerably higher than 2.7%. And the consumer price index is the price for everything. I mean, that was the whole intention of monetary tightening by the Fed, is to bring down prices because of inflation. And as a result, for whatever reason, they ain't coming down. And I think we've discussed why they're not coming down. It's because we have a bunch of synthetic dollars in the context of debt is the reason why you have no downturn in prices. You have no downturn in prices because you've got personal debt, you've got the government debt, and those dollars, which are synthetically made, are distributed throughout the economy of the United States. So that kind of offsets whatever the hell monetary tightening policy that the Fed is trying to do. So once again, this is why the market is so helter-skelter. And if you want my opinion, I think that the retail investors are getting taken to the cleaners. Because the only people that are actually buying at these prices at this point are ignorant retail investors that don't know what they're doing. All right, ignorant retail investors that don't know what they're doing. And hey, what's up, kids? Happy Baller Friday. We're going to get to that dono in just a second, as well as Dave, Steve, and Larry. Cheers to you guys. Happy Baller Friday. But once again, I am not a buyer in this market unless, and look, I have long-term investments, but you're going to have to stomach the volatility because right now, the market, as I've been saying time and time again, the majority of the money in the market is in 12 stocks. 80% of the goddamn wealth that is in this market is in 12 stocks. And at some point, people are going to sell off from those stocks. It's probably going to be retailers.
I'd buy that for $1.
And what's going on to Ananoki? What's going on? We'll go ahead and take your dono in just a second. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and take donos now since we're getting them. We're going to continue with the finances in just a second. But let's go ahead and say cheers to everybody who hooked it up with a donation today. Baller Friday, man. I hope everybody's having a good one. All right? I hope everybody's having a good one. It seems like the internet is running slow. Are we being DDoSed by China or some shit? What the hell is going on? Anyway, put the PC shot on. We've got Dave, Steve, and Larry. He said, what's up with all the Trump stuff? I understand the frustration, but was found guilty of 34 charges. What's so hard to understand? He broke 34 rules. Don't believe me? Just look up Trump Rule 35. Dude, don't look it up. Don't look it up. That's some pornography crap. You're a piece of crap for even suggesting it. We got Kits who says, are you going to talk about North Korea launching literal shit balloons towards North Korea? Well, look, I'll be honest with you. They tried to launch another bottle rocket the other day, which I discussed on the last show, and it blew up as it was going up. So let me tell you, I don't think North Korea has a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of when comparing weapons to the modern nation states of today. All right, I mean, we're seeing North Korea hardware in the theater of combat in Ukraine, and it ain't doing much for them. Let's just put it that way. And it goes to show you that it is a desperation move by Vladimir Putin, which we're going to talk about later on in the broadcast. All right. And we got Ananoki. Hey, Ghost, I need some advice. Hertz rate me and charge me a rate of $990 a day on a rental. I spent $1,200 total.
I'd buy that for $1.
I spent $1,200 total just to get home when the flights got canceled on Tuesday. I drove from Harlingen to Springfield, Missouri. Should I dispute the charge on my credit card or just complain to Hertz? The rate was definitely upcharged because of the huge amount of flight cancellations. Harlingen Airport told us that there were no flights out until Thursday. We signed off on everything, so I think I'm going to just have to eat the huge rental cost. Well, all I can suggest to you there, Ananoki, is try to appeal to corporate, and you're not going to get much knocked off. But if you threaten that, hey, I'm going to post this on TikTok, I mean, this is an outrage. I get that there was a limited amount of cars, but this was an unbelievable surcharge, and maybe you'll get that knocked down by about 25%. But you got to look at it from Hertz's perspective as well. They were overrun with people who were trying to get home, who couldn't catch a flight. So as a result, supply and demand happens. So it depends on how you look at it there, Ananoki. Cheers to you, man, all right? And we got Valentine Broadcasting with a Rumble rant over there at the Rumble chat. $10. Cheers to Valentine Broadcasting. Happy Baller Friday. Thank you for doing a TCR. Cheers, Billy V. And it's always a pleasure, Billy V. You're always not only here, but you're also on the Ghost Show, man. So cheers to you. I appreciate that. Happy Baller Friday. But let's get back to finance. Once again, the Fed's supposed preferred inflation measure rose 0.2%. I always thought it was the consumer price index, the CPI, but I guess we're living in a clown world, all right? Whatever to cook the books, whatever to cook the numbers, all right? What did George Bush Jr. say during one debate? Fuzzy math, all right? But anyway, that's why everybody's acting a little weird in the market today, all right? And by the way, as I stated on Monday, I'd be very cautious in buying anything at these high prices right now unless you're hedging for the future, which is what I've done in many different investments that I have at this point in time. Put the PC shot on. The reason I'm telling everybody to be careful, because all the indicators right now, in my opinion, for a downturn in the economy are happening. They're absolutely happening. Take a look at this. Pending home sales in April slumped to the lowest level since the start of the pandemic. So right off the bat, people are not buying homes anymore. And, once again, people are not in the greatest position right now, even though they should be. I mean, we had once again, the biggest savings by the consumer in America, in American history during COVID. And not only was that blown in 1 year, but also most of these people are maxed out in credit. So at some point, something's got to give. And everything that I'm seeing right now at this point in time is eerily similar to what happened in 09. Eerily similar. All right?
I'd buy that for $1.
And there's the base department, for Christ's sake. All right? I'll get to your dono in just a second. Cheers to you, man. All right? Cheers to you. All right, let me go ahead and continue. And we got Pace Bunanan. Oh, great. Over there at Rumble Rant. I am pro-Trump. I am ride or die with Trump. Yeah, shut up, Pace Bunanan, all right? You're the reason why I think I got banned over there at Kick, you piece of crap. Anyway, once again, another indicator that we're not doing well right now economically. People are holding their cash, and they're not putting down payments on homes at this point in time. So that'll be an indicator that home prices are going to go down. All right? Home prices are going to go down. And by the way, this is right out of the Fed. This is right out of the hot wire. Take a look at this. The broad continuing rise in U.S. credit card delinquency. So we are seeing credit card delinquency. We are seeing less homes being bought. And take a look at this chart that the Fed has here. This is the percentage of people with delinquent credit card debt as it continues to rise. And as you can tell, each one of these lines indicate a different metric. All right, this yellow line is the richest top 10% zip codes. There's an uptick in delinquency in credit cards. You take a look at this green line here, which I believe is the top one. This is the poorest 10% zip codes. And the blue line is the general U.S. And, of course, the 8th District is representative of the Federal Reserve St. Louis Bank. So that's why they have to put this 8th District line in there. So once again, this is not looking good. I think everybody needs to recognize that right now, in my opinion, this is not a time to be investing in any kind of assets unless you get them at 52-week lows and you take a look at their balance sheet, you take a look at their growth projections, and you believe that they can withstand a potential recession. Because I'm telling you, once the damn recession hits the market, and I believe at some point here, and it could happen at any time, eventually we're going to see 40% of the market gone. Because I think that we are way high, like at unbelievable over-speculated levels. I mean, I think right now the Dow should be at least 28, 29 at right now. The true value of it is around 12. All right, so you go a little above 100% value, and that's a manageable understanding. We just hit 40,000 Dow Jones Industrial last week. So in my opinion, I just think that this is something that everybody needs to start hedging for, and hence why everybody is buying gold, silver, to hedge against anything that could potentially happen. And let me tell you, if you take a look at 09 and you take a look at 2010, take a look at the gold and silver prices back then. All right, it went up. I mean, we saw, almost a $50 plus silver per troy ounce. I think we're going to surpass that. We're already surpassed all-time highs for gold. And the reason is, folks, is because there's a lot of uncertainty out here. There's a lot of uncertainty. So as you can see, once again, not looking good for the American economy. I mean, this is, I think, the calm before the storm. And I think everybody needs to understand that if you're not saving money, because as I stated, once the Fed finally cuts rates, and they talked about it, we may just see one rate cut. As I stated on the last broadcast, I predicted that this damn cut would come at the end of 2024, back in 2022, in March, when they started doing this monetary tightening policy. But I don't mean to toot my own horn, all right? Let me talk a little bit about crypto here. Let's move on because we got a lot of things to cover. Put the PC shot on. Take a look at this. Coinbase diversifies revenue sources as digital asset trading matures. Now, folks, I don't know if y'all remember, I think a few years ago when Coinbase came onto the stock market at an IPO, I suggested folks entertain that as an investment. And if you did, you were generously paid off. All right? Same thing with Corsair. That was another one that I suggested, another IPO, and those have been very good for investors that caught those damn stocks. And the reason I said Coinbase was a decent investment was because they're the only ones that survived this horrific, dare I say, reign of terror that has happened with crypto brokerages. FTX, Binance, and all the other ones that have either fallen or about to fall. This one not only prevails, it has done painstaking work into trying to maneuver the legalese around maintaining its legitimacy in the American financial market. And that's what I suggested when this damn thing was up for IPO. They were the first on the block, and they're doing the regulatory work necessary to be legitimate. And anybody who entertained it, I'm sure you're generously rewarded there, baby. All right? Now, the reason I bring this up, folks, is because crypto right now is also in limbo. It's also in limbo, but the reason that we haven't seen a major contraction is because you got everybody and their brother trying to pump this shit. And now you're starting to see politicians gravitate towards this issue during an election year because they know that crypto-tards, no offense, are so obsessed and so devoted to this idea that if you could somehow convince these crypto-tards that you're in favor of crypto, they may or may not go out and vote for you. All right? They may or may not go out and vote for you. All right, take a look at this. This is what I'm talking about. Did you hear this? Elon Musk counsels Trump on crypto in sign of billionaire sway. Now remember, Donald Trump did not like Bitcoin at all. He didn't like Bitcoin. He didn't pass any legislation, really didn't even touch the issue. He just basically talked against it. But now, when you're courting voters and you need every possible voter demographic necessary in order for you to be, quote, president, well, now all of a sudden you're entertaining cryptocurrency. Now it's become a campaign issue, for Christ's sake. And moreover, every candidate is talking about it. All right? Trump's talking about it. We heard RFK Jr. talking about it. So they're trying to court crypto-tards. And let me tell you, it's not just Trump. All right? It's not just Trump doing it. Take a look who else is doing it. Joe Biden. Biden campaign ramps up crypto industry outreach in a surprise tone shift. I told you just about a couple of seconds ago that crypto-tards have now been identified and as an obsessed demographic. And to be able to court them, they will vote for you like these dumb women who like vacuuming fetuses out of their uteruses, excuse me. All right, that's an alimentapita. But this is where we are right now. Trump courting crypto-tards, Biden toting crypto-tards. So I'm just speculating because of all this news, we may see a bump in crypto. Now, Bitcoin right now has taken a pullback. It did hit over 70,000 at the end of last week. It is now $67,543.27 right now is the current price. And in my opinion, I think we could see a short-term bump up because of all the hype, and now because politicians are courting crypto-tards. So here we go. It's political season, isn't it? It's now political season. And speaking of political season, let's talk a little bit about domestic politics. All right, let's make a transition, no pun intended. Now, you know, folks, that I am not really for anyone for president given the current circumstances. All right, we've got two 80-year-olds running for president. All right, 80-year-olds. All right, and to be honest with you, both of them just don't excite the American people. As a matter of fact, both of them are absolute cringe when it comes to the American people. And by the way, I'm not the only one. Take a look at this. More than half of Americans are following the election news closely, and many are already worn out. And this is a Pew Research poll. And take a look at this, all right? 62% are worn out by so much coverage of the campaign, and most of them are probably not even going to vote. because it's a disgusting disgrace. There's nobody inspiring running for any office at this point in time. And as I've stated over and over and over again, the Republicans don't stand for anything. The Republicans don't stand for anything anymore. The only issue that the Republicans stand on is the border issue. And I hate to say, the Democrats kind of nullified that when they attempted to initiate a bill that had everything that the Republicans complained about in debates about this issue in this bill, and the Republicans killed it on arrival. And you see, that took away the border issue, which is the only issue that the Republicans have, because what else? What other issue? What other issue do the Republicans have? We're certainly not fiscal conservatives anymore. I mean, that's why the Democrats have no problem adding on to the debt, because Trump added more to the debt than any other president before him combined. Okay, so we have lost that issue. Okay, we're certainly no longer a moral party. We're not a moral party, because I hate to say, the guy who is now running for president, or at least nominated for the presidential nominee for the GOP, has done a plethora of things that moral people wouldn't necessarily shine a spotlight on. So, I mean, what do we stand for? We don't stand for a goddamn thing. We don't stand for anything, man. That's why we have a Republican-dominated House, and they haven't accomplished shit. They haven't initiated any policy. They haven't passed any laws that benefit general America. The only time that the Republicans in the House can get together is to pass some anti-free speech bill pertaining to Israel. All right, that's the only time. The only time, for Christ's sake. And it makes me sick that every time I bring this up, many people that are of a cult of personality and voting for Trump, they just want to bypass that, just like they bypassed Trump signing Operation Warp Speed. And, well, you got to figure that out for yourself. All right? But once again, I'm probably one of the 62% that are just completely worn out of this dumb, boring, uninspiring political, this political 2024 campaign. I'm just sick of it. There's nobody inspiring. Nobody is touting any ideas that are original. There's no policies being made in which the general American public benefits. It's all divide and conquer on both sides. And when you have divide and conquer on both sides, nothing gets done in Washington, which is what they like. I mean, every session, every new congressional session that comes in, all right, the less they do, the longer they're in power. The less they do, the longer they're in power. So that's why many of you young people, which are issue-based voters, which is fucking ignorant shit, excuse my French, but you don't know what it is to be political. You just think by virtue signaling and getting likes and thumbs up on social media that gets you political. It doesn't. It doesn't. You have to be a part of the system. And that's why I'm telling you, I've already counted out the 2024 election. I think that the Republicans are going to lose across the board. I have already accepted that we are probably going to be dominated by a Democrat government. And I hope that after 2024, the bad taste of that inspires a new crop of Republicans that bring back some value back to the party. All right, recreating some semblance of an opposition to the damn Democrats, because I'll be honest with you, other than the cult of personality, I'm starting not to see too many hard lines anymore when it comes to the differences of these parties. And that's why I keep saying, what does the GOP stand for? The border. And, you had the Democrats initiating a border bill that appeased every criticism of the current situation, and the Republicans refused to do it because it was initiated by Democrats. And you see, that's why they did it. So they could campaign and say, look, the Republicans don't care about the border. We had everything. We had a border wall. We had thousands of extra funding for thousands more patrols, border patrols. We had a redefinition of asylum and all that shit. And as a result, they said no because Trump told them to say no. So it is what it is. All right, let me take a couple of these donos here. Vox Artificials looking forward to Trump winning in November. Yeah, right. And speaking of which, here's Vox Artificial again. You won't believe who was spotted at the Trump trial. I'll take a look at that in just a second. And the base department, Ghost, another chicken egg facility went up in flames. Something is off here with all these food facilities burning down to the ground. As far as Trump goes, I think the Democrats have the biggest mistake of their life. Dems flipping and are saying that they're voting for Trump now. Black people, Latino people, Democratic government officials are turning coat on the Democratic Party. I don't know where you're living. I don't see that, dude. I don't see that out here. I'll be honest with you. I personally do not see that. But, I mean, I guess where you are at, that's what's happening. They tried to make Trump a pariah, but instead they made him a martyr. I don't think they made him a martyr, dude. I do not see it that way. But, hey, I mean, that's why you people, I mean, with all due respect, you young people are disenfranchised. And the reason you're disenfranchised because the public education nor higher education taught you how to properly participate in this government. Because this is a government made for the people and by the people. But unfortunately, you ask any of these young people about their political persuasion, they can't articulate it. You ask them about what they believe in, all right? They can't articulate it. But I'll tell you what they do articulate every time you ask them, why the hell are they pathetic losers complaining, bitching, and moaning instead of going out there and staking their claim? They tell you, the boomers. The boomers. Yeah, look at Vox Artificial with a rumble rant. Cry harder, Reaganite boomer. You see, this is why America is being destroyed. It is the dumb, disenchanted, spoiled brat young people. And take a look at this poll. When asked, all right, whether they agree, I'm talking about the young people, whether they agree or disagree with the following statement, it doesn't matter who wins elections, nothing changes. Most of the young people agreed. And then when asked, what exactly do you mean? This is what these young people say. It's a dying empire led by bad people. Poll finds young voters despairing over U.S. politics. And you see, folks, then you wonder why you have Washington sitting on their thumbs when it comes to this border issue. And they're allowing Juan Valdez and everybody and their brother to come into this country. Is because the current landscape right now, the current millennial Gen Z generations are such spoiled pieces of emotional shit that I think that we have to replace them. I mean, there's no way that you can sit down with these people and say, hey, you're in the best country in the world. The whole reason why your stupid ass can complain and bitch and moan is because of the safety of America, you dumb piece of crap. And hold on there, Fallen Dawn. Cheers to you. Happy Baller Friday. We're going to go ahead and hook yours up in a minute, man. Cheers to you. And then Vox Artificials with a $1 Rumble. I'm not acknowledging $1 Rumble rants, all right? I'm not some stripper on the main stage, you piece of shit. But once again, boomer this, boomer that. Where is your representation, young people? I mean, seriously, where is the representation of all the young people out here? I mean, I have yet to see anyone with any kind of inspirational message that's young. I'm not trying to say the old boomers are doing it either, but they're the status quo. They're the status quo. Hey, cheers to Dr. Midnight, man. Happy Baller Friday. And I'll read your dono in just a second. But once again, I mean, you take a look at who's running for president. We've got two 80-year-olds. Two 80-year-olds. You know, I actually watched the Rolling Stones yesterday on a video. They did a MetLife concert out there in New York. 80-year-old fucking guys out there performing a goddamn concert. I mean, when I looked at this, I say, man, 80 years old and this guy's hopping all over the stage and still doing his thing? Where are the young people with that kind of energy? Where are the young people with that type of spirit? They're broken, they're disgusting, They rather wax their carrot to fucking pedophile cartoons. They'd rather get their thumbs bruised on video games. They'd rather be an immature nothing and complain about everything to avoid responsibility. And this is why we have this type of fucking feeling amongst the young people. It's a dying empire led by bad people. Well, where's your representation in this government? Because any of you young pricks can go out and run for something, but you're not running a damn thing. And the young people that do run, they try to emulate a young Bernie Sanders, and it makes everybody want to puke. Because all you young people are like, you know what, communism is socialism, and communism is socialism. Hey, asshole, we did a socialist experiment, believe it or not, and it was at the latter part of Trump's administration. All right, Trump closed down the entire country, which no communist has ever done in the history of political theater. He shut down every goddamn business in America, which has never been done by a damn communist. All right? He forced the American people to use a product by a corporation that wasn't even monitored as safe, and everybody's starting to recognize that now. And yet, after all this, people still believe that Trump is some kind of anti-communist. I mean, he gave everybody thousands of dollars direct deposited into their goddamn bank account. All right? This should show you that all you dumbasses out there that think that socialism is great, it'll produce this, it'll produce that. We just did this experiment during COVID. And what the fuck did it do? It didn't produce shit. Did anybody that got all this free money from the government, did any of them do anything to better innovation? Did they invent products? Did they invent services? No, they didn't. As I told you at the beginning here, when I was covering the finances, they put themselves in debt. They put themselves in debt is what they did. And what's going on to Jatario, man? Happy Baller Friday, and cheers to you, Jatario, man. I appreciate it, man. I'm going to go ahead and read these donos right after this here. And Vox Artificial with a $2 Rumble rant calling me a toony thought. And then Vox Artificial with another Rumble rant and says, why don't you run then, crybaby Charlie? I'm too old. You see, you young people would look at me and be, oh, it's a boomer. It's a fucking boomer. That's why. And Bob Tom says, you're not on the Trump train because you're a DNC psyop. Dude, I'm not part of the Democrat Party. All right, I think the Democrat Party are a bunch of idiots. They should have never existed after 2016, after Julian Assange exposed all the DNC emails and showed what kind of corrupt criminal organization the damn Democrats were. And yet, did that stop the Democrats? Did people stop listening to the Democrats? No, they didn't. On the contrary. On the contrary. And Devious Dave with a Rumble rant. Did you see Brandon Herrera lost in Texas by only 400 votes on his opponent who spent 10 times what he spent on his campaign? Hey, Devious Dave, haven't you listened to this broadcast? That's what American politics is about. If you want to run for something in this country, you have to have money. You have to fundraise and that sort of thing. And if you don't, then you have to have the numbers. You have to have a number of people that appreciate you, that believe in you, that will go out of their own will to go and vote for you. Now, it's a lot easier when you have a lot of money, all right? But this goes to show you that 400 votes beat that particular district. So that meant that the opposition, Herrera, could have possibly done a little bit more grassroots. Because if you don't have the money, you got to be out every goddamn day speaking, shaking hands, and trying to get to know everybody in that district. And if you don't do that, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't Brandon Herrera this idiot that was touting, toting guns and talking about how he was a true Texan and shit? People are tired of that shit. All right, that shit worked in 2016. That shit don't work anymore, man. All right, and look, it turned off 400 people so that he doesn't win that damn nomination. So I'm telling you right now, this is how it is. Put the PC shot on. Let me get some more donos here. Fall on Dawn I don't know, because who's president, I don't care who's president, as long as my pocket gets bigger from less government taxes. We need to get rid of all these government programs and entitlements. Unfortunately, Falun Dawn, I don't think that's going to happen. I think whoever's president, it really doesn't matter who, is going to have to raise taxes. And the reason I say that is because we have spent so much money in the past 2 presidencies that we're at a point of no return. Why do you think everybody is investing in gold and silver right now, even though we're in a monetary tightening policy? I mean, considering that we're taking out fiat dollars out of the circulation, you would think that that would lower the value of the gold and silver. It isn't. And the reason most commodities brokers and most people that are gold and silver investors are buying is because of the unsustainable debt that this current government is putting us in. And yet that isn't even an issue on anybody's minds, both Republican or Democrat. And you see, that's an important issue because at some point, if our debt gets too high, no one is going to want to buy our bonds. And if no one buys our bonds, we have to increase the bond yield, which will increase the goddamn interest on top of the current rate, which means we'll be in junk bond status, which means that we are unsustainable and may have to go, I mean, dare I say, we may have to renegotiate with the damn bondholders, and that's called austerity. And if you want to take a good look at what that means, take a look at Greece back in 2011, 2012. Because that's exactly what happened to them. Because, folks, it may get so bad that if we default on bonds, if we default to the debt holders, then what'll happen is we don't have to worry about high interest rates or low interest rates. All right? What'll happen is, folks, negative interest rates will be implemented, just like they did in certain parts of Europe, Greece particularly, in which wherever you store your money, whatever banking institution stores your money, you are going to have to pay interest to the bank in order to have your money in that institution. And let me tell you, if we continue down this unsustainable debt, that is going to be a reality for America. I mean, imagine that. Imagine you having to put your money into a bank and you're paying the bank interest. That's what will happen if we default on our debt. And this is a very serious subject nobody talks about. Anyway, cheers to Falun Dawn. We got Dr. Midnight. Hey, happy Baller Friday, Ghost. All these schmucks in Washington are too busy playing grab ass with each other that nothing ever gets done. If the people want to make a change, you got to start at the local level. Cheers. Well, that's what I was been trying to say for the past several shows. I've said it on a couple of Twitch spaces. That's what we have to do. I am urging anybody out there, after this 2024 slaughtering that the GOP is about to get, if you have any kind of credibility, all right, if you have any kind of clout in your community, please run for the GOP in any position. If it's local, if it's state, if it's federal, all right, you'll be surprised how successful you be if you believe in what you say. All right, don't run if you're going to be like these plastic fake pieces of shit Democrats that already are all over the damn Congress. We don't need those people. We need people that believe. We need people that inspire. That's what we need. And how do you do that? You have to believe in what you're expressing. You got to believe in what you're saying. You got to believe in the policies that you're advocating. You got to believe in the people. Look, if you're going to act like Ron DeSantis around people, then don't even run. But if you're a good people person and you listen and you can look engaged, you can look like you give a shit, because that's really the game, right? You got to look like you give a shit. Then you're a politician and we need you there. We need to redefine the party after 2024. We need to bring back values back to the party, man. And I urge you, man, anybody, if you have any credibility, please consider running. Please. And if you do run, let me know, because I will promote you and I will suggest what you should do. Because you can win an election without money. You just got to work your ass off by going door to door, by shaking hands, by going to events, sponsoring events. You have to do that all day, every damn day during the campaign. All day, every day. And that ain't going to cost you nothing other than time, other than effort. And if you really believe in what you say and you obtain power, well, then that's your time. That's your time to shine. Anyway, we got Jatario. Cheers. I would like to personally thank you, Ghost, for doing another TCR. Continuing to do shows prove you still care. Unlike these people begging for collectivism, go to work, you lazy fucks. Hey, you know what? I couldn't have said it any better there, Jatario. I couldn't have said it any better, and cheers to you, man. Anyway, put the PC shot on. Once again, a dying empire led by bad people, according to these young people, all right? All right. Jesus Christ, Vox Artificials. Look, stop sending me fucking links, dude, all right? This is not the fucking Ghost Show, you stupid fucking idiot. You're not even an American either. Who gives a shit? Who the hell was at Trump's trial? Jesus Christ, who was it? Oh, yeah, real fun. Hey, look, there's Pre goes in. Fucking wasting my damn time. Don't fucking send me any links. I'm not going to look at them any fucking more. All right? This is not the damn Ghost Show, you stupid, dumb, enemy-loving tards. Jesus Christ, wasting my Baller Friday to waste my breath to a bunch of fucking idiots who wax their carrot to cartoons and shit. Can't stand you. Anybody with a fucking anime cartoon profile picture, you're a pedophile. That's all I got to say about that, all right? If you got an anime profile picture, you're a goddamn Woody Allen butt-loving pedophile. And shut up, Vox. Oops, I thought it was. I'm sorry, my bad. Anyway, getting back to the subject of domestic politics here, I think we're fucked because take a look at this. Departing House members ask, why am I here? Why am I here? There are a total of 54 House members that are incumbents that are no longer going to run for re-election because they can't stand what the hell is happening in the House of Representatives. All right? They can't explain it. They cannot explain it. And I'll tell you why, because right now this government is ridiculous. It's more about trying to argue with each other in order to put your face in the mainstream media than it is trying to accomplish something. All right? So, I'm telling you, man, I am not optimistic in 2024. I think America's screwed. I think that we got a bunch of morons that are in Washington that can't even articulate their grievances. They can't even express themselves properly. And it's really sad. All right, it's really goddamn sad for all you people that are out here that are thinking these one issue type votes, like I'm voting for them because of abortion, because they're anti-abortion, because they're for abortion. Who gives a shit about abortion? It's a settled issue. It's to the states' rights. And if you're a woman that enjoys sucking fetuses out of your uterus, well then move to California. Move to New Jersey, move to these states where you can do that every fucking weekend, all right? I'm tired of hearing about these stupid issues that don't affect the general American public, all right? I mean, seriously, if you're that concerned about it, why don't you advocate your state officials to make it illegal like we did here in Texas, all right? If you're that pissed off about it. All right, if you want morality, why don't you have lawmakers do something about the rampant porn that's happening on the internet like we did here in Texas? All right? Satan AIDS. Oh, great. I'm sure your damn ridiculous comment is worth reading. But anyway, once again, you know, people are departing the House of Representatives. Not a good deal. And look, they're not only departing the House of Representatives. Take a look at this. Put the PC shot on.
I'd buy that for $1.
Hey, what's going on to the Northern Yankee with 5 beers, man? Cheers to you, man. Thank you very much. I will read your dono right after this, man. Cheers to you. Happy Baller Friday, the Northern Yankee. I appreciate it, man. 5 beers making it rain on these trolls here. But they're not only quitting the House of Representatives, Biden's administration are now dropping like flies with resignation. And why? Because of the Gaza war. That's right. 2 more U.S. officials resign over Biden's administration on his position on the Gaza war. And I think I talked about it either on the last show or the show before that the veteran Democratic strategist Q-Ball James Carville, who helped Bill Clinton win his presidency in '92, He was livid at what the Biden administration is doing during an election year.
I'd buy that.
He
for
was
$1.
livid. He was utterly livid. And what's going on to fall undone, man? I will read yours right after this. Cheers to you once again, man. But as I was stating, this issue is driving a wedge amongst Democrats. And I really couldn't advise what the hell Biden should do. He should have done something instead of ignoring the problem. And I know it's a big
I'd
issue.
Buy that for $1.
Hey, what's up, Count Binface? Happy Baller Friday. We'll go ahead and hook yours up here in a second. But once again, this is why every administration always has Israel as a main issue. You know, they're always trying to bring peace in this region. Every goddamn president, every one of them. Remember, Carter tried to do it, and unfortunately, Omar Sadat got assassinated for it. Remember, Bill Clinton tried to do it throughout the damn 90s. I mean, I think everybody forgets that Bill Clinton actually was the president that brought Yasser Arafat and then Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin together to actually discuss grievances. Now, the unfortunate part about it is that Yitzhak Rabin, which was the prime minister at that time, many of the Hasidic Jews in Israel thought that he was going over the line and stabbing Israel in the back by entertaining any kind of negotiation with Yasser Arafat. And as a result, a Hasidic Jew assassinated Yitzhak Rabin in 1994 because of his attempt at trying to reconcile with Yasser Arafat. All right? So I'm just saying, and there's Mad Thad. I think he took a little offense about me calling people who like goddamn enemy pedos or something. Look, I'm not the only one that said it. Anybody who has any kind of moral fiber will say the same damn thing. But anyway, as I was stating, I know people are very touchy about this Gaza issue. And look, I'm not really thrilled about what Israel is doing here. But at the same time, I do want to recollect everybody. I want everybody to recollect in 1997-98, there was something called the Camp David Accords, in which Bill Clinton, once again, tried to solve this issue, and he brought together Yasser Arafat with then Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak. Now, Ehud Barak, all right, actually had like some very, very liberal views on this issue. And Ehud Barak was so flexible that during the Camp David Accords, Ehud Barak made a gesture of giving back Palestine the pre-1967 borders. And you know what Yasser Arafat said? He said no. He said absolutely not. And take a look at the map of pre-1967 borders and take a look at the fucking map of Palestine now. All right? I mean, there was an offer on the table, and fucking whoever represented Palestine at the time, which was Yasser Arafat, he said no. And now, you know, these people keep talking about a Palestinian state, Palestinian state, Palestinian state. That was on the table in the 1997 Camp David Accords, for Christ's sake. So it's hard, in my opinion, to continue to show any empathy to the Palestinian people when, for whatever reason, whoever the leaders that represent them refuse to actually have some kind of compromising position. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, for Christ's sake. Look at Vox Artificials. Congrats on the same, you're being on the same side as enemy and degeneracy as Gavin Dildo Up the Butt McGinnis. Well, look, I'm not a big fan of Gavin McGinnis, but I mean, if he said that, he's absolutely correct. All right? I look, you do what you want, but if you are somebody who watches anime and you make that a part of your personality, whether you like it or not, I'm going to think of you as a pedophile. All right? Whether you like it or not, I'm going to think you're a fucking sick prick. I wouldn't trust you with my dog. I wouldn't trust you with animals, let alone children. So that's just the way it is. All right? You don't like it? Fine. Don't listen to me. I don't give a shit. All right? Anyway, put the PC shot on. We got some donos here that came in and buy me a coffee. I made $20K in natural gas. I'm spending on my money on a new sex doll. Oh, Jesus Christ. You see what I'm saying here? Anyway, the Northern Yankee, happy Baller Friday. Looks like you're shooting pearls as usual. Have a drink or some smoke on me. Keep capitalizing and get this generation off their asses to prove their worth. Cheers, baby, cheers. Hey, Northern Yankee, look at them in all the chat rooms right now, except the one on the screen. Take a look at all these other chat rooms, man. They're molding. They're molding, for Christ's sake. Once again, cheers to the Northern Yankee. Thanks for the 5 beers, man. I'm going right to the bar after this, man. Cheers to you. And we got Count Binface. Hello, Ghost. It's your favorite Count Binface. Did you know that in recent times, Parliament has been talking about potential of tactical nukes? It might be worth it to gather your bin bucks to buy all the bins that you need. I will be ensuring that you receive one personally. At least it will be an affordable solution and not a total scam. Also, please vote for me. One vote for me is another step for bin dependence. Great. Thank you, Count Binface. And I also forgot about Fallen Dawn. Dude, I have coworkers saying that they're voting for whoever is up for disclosure. Who is up for disclosure? UAP disclosure? UAP disclosure? It's driving me nuts. I'm going broke because of these low IQ cavemen. Well, welcome to America there, Fallen Dawn. And here's Mad Thad. We take offense to you calling us with enemy profile pics, that word. It's vile word, and it doesn't represent the enemy community at all. Shout out to Ghost Trans-Pacific Waifu. Well, whether it does or doesn't, that's what I think, okay? And I have the right to think whatever I want to think. Anyway, speaking of which, not only is Biden having officials of his administration stepping down because of his stance on Israel and Gaza, but he's having trouble with black folks. Take a look at this. Biden's black voter troubles are setting off alarm bells. The message out of the battleground states and focus groups is that president's problems are real. Now, I'll be honest with you, I don't know how to analyze this. I mean, I get it, Joe Biden is not an inspiring person. I understand that he really didn't do much other than pay black folks lip service, but isn't that what all the Democrats do? I mean, didn't Obama do the same damn thing? And moreover, I question black voters for being not necessarily like rooted in any kind of issue. Because how are you going to sit there and say, you know what, fuck Biden, I'm voting for Trump, when many black voters rioted in the streets because they thought Trump was a goddamn racist? Yeah, does anybody remember the George Floyd riots, for Christ's sake? So how does a group of people, go from, I'm rioting in the streets because Trump is a racist piece of shit, he's a part of the KKK and all the other shit that they said about him, and now all of a sudden they're like, yeah, I'm voting for him, man. I'm voting for that brother. It doesn't make any sense. And you know what? I'll be honest with you. I don't like the segmentation of demographics when it comes to politics. All right? Black, white, fucking Indian, Mexican, whatever the hell you are. If you're an American citizen, race shouldn't even have an issue. All right? It's the opportunity that should be accorded to everyone. It's the freedom that should be accorded to everyone. All right? And I'll be honest with you, black folks, at this point in time, I think the race issue is dead. It's dead, and because the reason I'm saying this is because now black folks are highly represented everywhere, whether it's because of their own merit or affirmative action, but they're represented everywhere. And moreover, instead of creating stuff out of their own creative minds, every movie now is now getting a redo with black actors. Now, I don't understand this. Why is it that I need a black perspective of Rosemary's Baby? Why do I need a black perspective of The Wonder Years? Why do I need a black person? I mean, they're remaking everything that was once upon a time made into something with all black actors. Now, isn't that defeating the whole purpose of racism? Because the idea, at least many that espouse this whenever they cry racism, is that we don't have our own identity. We don't have our own identity, and we're only obliging what the white man does. We're only doing what we're doing because of the white man. And here you are, not only do you have every ample opportunity that every American does, you have a privilege that if anybody does have any racist notions towards you, that you could potentially file either criminal, hate charges, or even civil litigation. And yet, I have yet to see, originality from the black demographic. I mean, what they're doing, in essence, is the same thing that many of them accuse other races doing to their culture, which is cultural appropriation. I mean, trying to take what was already created by whatever nationality, white, Mexican, whatever, they're taking it and recreating it as its own. Isn't this cultural appropriation? A very good example of this is Beyonce Knowles. Beyonce Knowles, about 10 years ago, was hollering all this cultural appropriation bullshit. And her latest album, what does she do? She comes out in a cowboy hat and in chaps, pretending she's a cowgirl. Unbelievable. I didn't mean to go off on that soliloquy, but I'm really tired of all this race garbage. All right? This is America. All right? We all have the equal opportunities. Everybody has economic opportunities, political freedom. I'm sick and tired of this crap. And what's going on to Bad Emoji?
I'd buy that for $1.
Hold on, Matt. That Bad Emoji with a $10 Rumble rant. Yo, Ghost, I appreciate the TCRs as of late. No pressure, but what's the wait time on merch? Waiting on my Capitalist Army sticker. Hey, Bad Emoji, I have no idea how Teespring, which is, or whatever, Creator Spring, or whatever the hell it's called now, every one of these folks that are in the streaming business do that. They subcontract it through there. So I have no idea. You may have to contact them. But they're pretty good about it. It just depends if they've subcontracted something that they're offering to a third party, which kind of, makes the waiting time a little bit longer. All right, but hey, Bad Emoji, cheers to you, man. Thank you very much for the $10 Rumble rant. But getting back to Biden, once again, black folks ain't, they ain't digging Biden very much.
I'd buy
They ain't
that
digging
for
very.
$1.
Hey, what's going on, Star Platinum? Hold on, Star Platinum. We're not videoing. We're not doing videos here. I appreciate the 5 beers, but we're not doing videos, dude. Hold on, put the PC shot up. This is the fucking True Capitalist Radio show. Anyway, Matt, like I said a few shows back, all Trump has to do is mention the word reparations. It will stir the black community up so much that it will throw off the black vote for the Dems. I think he does that. He loses all the voters that are making his base right now, Matt. Are you kidding me? Let's be honest. Most of the folks that are Trump's base aren't too crazy about black people, all right? Let's be honest. They're not too crazy about Jewish people, even though I don't know how that's possible when there's been no bigger friend to the Jews than Trump. But I don't know. I think I disagree with that, Matt. I'm sorry. I completely disagree with that. Anyway, Star Platinum, I know you're a first-time dono here. I'm not going to play that until the next Ghost show, which the next Ghost show will probably be Sunday. But cheers to you and happy Baller Friday there, Star Platinum. And we'll go ahead and hook that up on Sunday. You'll be the first video, man, all right? Anyway, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about Trump, all right? Put the PC shot on. The Biden campaign pounces on Trump's guilty criminal trial verdict. No one is above the law. So, of course, Joe Biden is going to take advantage of this politically. He's going to come out and say a lot of things after Trump was found guilty by a New York City jury on all 34 felony charges in the first time a current or former president has stood trial. Now, this puts a whole new dynamic to the GOP in their attempts on trying to win the presidency, because I'll be honest with you, I do not think that this is going to look very favorable to your average Mr. and Mrs. Joe six-pack. All right, obviously the base doesn't care. The base doesn't give a shit, but the folks that just want to live their everyday lives and aren't obsessed over, cult of personality, and they just, they want to raise their families, they don't want any trouble, they don't want none of this shit. And look, I don't think Trump was expecting it either. I mean, did you see him, man? A shell-shocked Donald Trump says, "I'm a very innocent man," after being found guilty.
I'd buy that for $1.
After being found guilty. Anyway, hey, kids, I'll read yours in just a second, man. Anyway, once again, Trump did not look as confident as he thought he was going to be. And I'll be completely honest, he kind of brought this on himself. All right? Because it's obvious that he did try to pay off not only this broad, but a couple of broads right before he ran for president. Now, I know many people are saying, well, Ghost, I mean, we've spent $17 million of taxpayer money settling off harassment charges for Congress people. Well, that's a different story, because guess what? This is not
Buy
federal.
that for $1.
Hey, what's up, Mama Luigi? And your birthday Sunday? Cheers, dude. And I'll get to your dono in just a second. But once again, this is a state law. This is the New York State. And in New York State, because they require a income tax at that state level, if you somehow cook your books in a way that could be deemed illegal in a state tax capacity, then these types of charges are valid. All right. I mean, look, do I think it's a bullshit charge? Sure. But remember, a prosecutor can prosecute almost anything. And this prosecutor, who was obviously somewhat left-leaning, wanted to make an example out of Trump and was able to successfully get him charged with felonies relating to misappropriation of funds while filing for a state income tax on a business level. And I'll be honest with you, he didn't do himself any favors either by bad-mouthing the judge, bad-mouthing everybody. I mean, you have the right to remain silent, you know. And he didn't look right, man. He looked a little disheveled. He looked a little shook, to say the least. Because I'll tell you right now, I do believe that Trump will serve jail time. He will serve jail time. I mean, isn't he up for like 100 and something years on all these 34 different counts? And when will we know? When will we know he'll be behind bars or not? July 11th. All right. Trump to be sentenced on July 11th. And this is what I think is going to happen. I actually do believe that he's going to be sent to jail. And I do believe that he's going to sit in jail for a small amount of time. And I think that once Biden is reelected, I hate to say that Biden will pardon Donald Trump. Mark my words. This is what's going to happen. All right? Trump's going to have to sit in jail until the election because Biden ain't going to help him during this election, that's for sure. And then once the election is won by Biden, I see Biden pardoning Trump because we cannot allow a president to be persecuted in this capacity. We cannot, because then this means that anybody who runs for president, for the party, for whatever party, it can be targeted for this kind of crap. And somebody said Trump's going to pardon himself. He can't pardon himself. He can't pardon himself because the president can only pardon federal crimes. Federal crimes. You know, where the FBI is involved and, you know, they're being prosecuted at a federal level. State crimes, they cannot. So just thought you know that. I'm sure most of you don't because, I mean, you think you know everything just because you watch some stupid talking head on television, but they don't. So once again, Trump to be sentenced, and I do believe that he will be pardoned by Biden, but it'll be after the election. It will be after the election. Now, of course, all the Trump people that are comprised of very, you know, bizarre, what would be deemed leftist people about 10 years ago, Trump supporters are now calling for riots and violent retribution after the verdict. I mean, for what? I mean, for what? I mean, it's not like Trump did anything for the general American public for them to believe that he's on our side. I mean, what is everybody going to riot about? They should have rioted when this idiot put us as political prisoners in our own goddamn house. That's what we should have done. They should have rioted when they closed down our businesses. That's when they should have rioted. But no, my cult of personality, Donald Trump, with his skunk head, he's got found guilty. Oh, that's not fair. It's time to riot. Hey, our justice system ain't perfect, all right? You know that it's not about whether you're guilty or innocent. It's about whether you look guilty or innocent. That's the way our system works. Why do you think lawyers get paid so much? So that they can create that reasonable doubt in order for a jury or a judge to nullify the charges. I mean, that's just how it is. I mean, we got innocent people right now sitting in jail because they looked guilty. I mean, that's how our justice system works. And dare I say, had Trump just shut his mouth and not say all this shit about the judges and the prosecutors and not try to, dog whistle his supporters to try to dox these people and swat these people. I mean, he probably would have gotten off, if you want my opinion. But because he continues this incendiary type language in which people at this point are tired of, that's why, if you want my opinion, the damn jury convicted him. And Fallen Dawn with a $10 Rumble rant said, Ghost, let's be real. Trump's going to appeal it and skate. You watch. Yeah, but even if he does appeal it, he has to stay in jail on appeal. All right, you got to stay in jail on appeal, for Christ's sake. I mean, who have you known that has been convicted in a trial that right before they get sentenced, they appeal and they don't have to do jail time? That's not how it works. That's not how the justice system works. If you are guilty in a trial and are sentenced, you've got to appeal after that while waiting in jail. And that's how it works. I mean, ask anybody who's been appealing shit that was innocent that got sent to jail. They'll tell you the same damn thing. Anyway, you watch. It happens every 2 weeks. This man loses. The media screams jail, and then Teflon Don appeals and skates. This is a little different, dude. Fallen Don, this is a little bit different, and I think that he is going to be sitting in a jail. I absolutely do believe it. And it's unfortunate that this is the GOP candidate. This is why I didn't want this guy. All right, politics in America is about winning. It's not about a cult of personality, for Christ's sake. Jesus Christ. And look at this. Look at this. I mean, it never ends. The fucking MAGA people act just like leftists. Look at this. Civil war! Warning issued by MAGA after Donald Trump guilty verdict.
I'd buy that for $1.
Hey, what's going on, Twinkletard? And he says, something tells me Trump will get Epsteined in jail. I don't think that's going to happen. But I'm telling you right now, you know why people go to civil war? You want to know why there's civil war that happens? Because people are usually starving. All right? That's how the French Revolution started. That's how the Russian Revolution started. All right? I mean, the French Revolution started because Marie Antoinette let them eat cake. They were fucking partying in these pompous-ass fucking feudalistic goddamn parties and shit while the damn French suffered through the worst winter they've ever fucking felt and were starving, for Christ's sake, and they had enough of it. Same thing with the Ruskies, for Christ's sake. So I'll tell you this right now. I mean, civil war for Donald Trump, dude, give me a fucking break. Civil war because of a person? Anybody who follows that, I don't give a shit who the person is. Civil war because of a person is fucking ridiculous. All right, it is fucking lunacy. All right, civil war over a fucking 80-year-old man. Unfucking believable. Unbelievable. And look at Will-O-Wisp. Ghost condones the corruption of our justice system. You heard it, folk. No fake audio here, fucking Jew. Hey, let's be honest. That's how our system works, Will-O-Wisp. I know you're probably some kind of a, half a tard that probably, spends your time playing video games all day. But what you need to understand is that had he not run for president, I think he'd be on a golf course right now playing golf and not having a worry in the world. All right? I mean, but because he made a lot of enemies.
I'd buy that for $1.
Because he made a lot of enemies, okay, in the bureaucratic system of government, and because he was so brazen and so cocky about it, people don't forget, especially in powerful positions. And because he ran again, he brought this on himself. All right? He should have known better. That's how the system works. All right? They allowed him to be president, and I don't know, whatever he did. And he was no longer president. Look, he wasn't being prosecuted when he was a damn civilian. He wasn't being fucked with when he was a damn civilian. It was until he tried to run for president again, and the system, all right, every bureaucratic tentacle of this system does not want him a part of it. And look, I don't know how one person can take on a bureaucratic system of authority. You can't. So he brought this shit on himself. All right, I'm sorry. It is what it is. Anyway, feminist socialists, you actually support this corrupt justice system? Blows my mind. What are you talking about? I don't support it. That's the way it is. Hey, remember when all the black folks were rooting for O.J. Simpson, for him to get off on a murder that obviously he did? And then once he got off on it, all the black folks are like, yeah, we won. Yeah. Because, folks, that's how the system works for many of them. All right? That's how the system works for many of them. And OJ represented black America sticking it into Whitey's face using his system. All right? So, I mean, I could give you countless different other examples where the justice system did not service justice. All right? It is what it is. That's why it's not whether you're guilty or innocent. It's whether you look guilty or innocent. That's why you need a damn lawyer whenever you're in a damn courtroom. Anyway, Blade the Celeron Hunter said, I predicted civil war, but I like what I said in VC. At this point, nobody will die for Trump because he's betrayed everyone, and that everybody who believed in him. I agree. I used to believe in this prick. I used to believe in this fucking prick. And wait a minute, Mama Luigi, French, Russians. What about Egyptians and Iranians? What about the Egyptians and Iranians? I mean, both of those variants of Islam is what caused the revolutions, all right? The Egyptian revolution, remember, Mubarak was a secularist. He was a secularist. And when the Egyptians occupied Tahrir Square, which is where we get the whole fucking Occupy Wall Street bullshit, they were hoping that once Mubarak moved in and started dispensing the fucking protesters in a violent capacity, they anticipated the military taking control, and that's what happened. And during the first time, what happened? What did the Egyptians elect? They elected a bunch of terrorists in the fucking Muslim Brotherhood. All right? So they did that for an idea. All right, Mama Luigi? They didn't do it for a person. The Iranians, the same shit. All right, the Iranians, why do they call it the Iranian Revolution? Because it is a Islamic state. That's why the supreme leader is a holy leader. All right? It is a fundamentalist state. That's why the revolution happened. Not for one fucking idiot. All right? Revolutions don't happen because of one fucking idiot. All right, there's one idiot that leads a revolution because all the people are oppressed, and he's out there.
Buy that for $1.
And he's out there. Yeah, look at what they're doing us. They're oppressing us, and they're doing. No one in this country is oppressed. All right, no one in America is oppressed. And if you believe that, why don't you go visit any other country in the world and see how oppressed you'll be there? Anyway, Vox Artificials, Ghost supports bureaucracy now. Yay, yeah, real audio. Vox Artificials, you're showing your immaturity, dude. It's no wonder why you fan your nuts to cartoons, you fucking freak. And Mama Luigi, well, there's dumber wars. A war over a soccer game, it actually happened. Yeah, but those are fucking poor idiots, all right? I mean, with all due respect to people who like soccer, it's a third world fucking game. All right, I'm sorry. All right? That's why everybody in the third world plays it, because it's a third world stupid fucking game. I get it. There's a lot of soccer fans out there. I get it. But it's a stupid fucking sport. I'm sorry. All right? Anyway, Civil War. All right? Riots and violence in the street. And while Trump supporters that are on the low end of the pay grade are saying that, Trump, of course, needs to pay for all this fucking legal shit and all this stuff. So what is he doing? He's going to the infamous donors that he derided back in 2016. Take a look at this, huh? In 2016, Trump derided favors for donors. Today, he wants to make a deal. Huh? A man of the people, by the way. You see, that's why I supported this guy back in 16, because he told all the donors that he didn't need their money and that he could fund his own campaign. And by doing that, I believed in that guy back then because he was, at least on face optical value, doing this for America. And he was actually promoting ideas that I agreed with, like renegotiating the trade deals, all right? Lowering taxes, all right? I mean he did so much. There were so many things that this guy did, and then it all went away once COVID happened. All that shit went away after COVID happened. Once COVID happened, he turned into a goddamn Marxist, if you want my opinion. And what is this? Willow-Wiss 85. The First World War literally happened because Serbia shot and killed Archduke Ferdinand. History tells us that war can start over one man. You're fucking retarded. Hey, asshole, have you ever read about World War I, you stupid idiot? All right? The reason it started is because they were rolling out the goddamn war machine. All right? They were rolling out the new tanks and all the new modern warfare that Europe had been developing shit, and they were fucking rolling that shit out way before Archduke Ferdinand fucking came out, for Christ's sake, and got assassinated. All right? That's why it was so easy to start opening fire on the damn battlefield, because the war machine had already been established. They were in the theater. There was just no shots fired. So give me a break, dude. You know, here, kick these people out of here, all right? If you're a fucking stupid, ignorant piece of shit and you don't know history and you're just going to be some fucking stupid, dumb fucking loser, get the fuck out of my goddamn thing. Get them out of here. Get them the fuck out of here. Get them all out of here. Fucking kick these fuckers out of here. All right, kick Vox Artificial out of here. To get out of here. Everybody, kick them all out. I don't give a shit who they are. Kick them all out of here. Piece of shit. You know what? I'm getting out. You know what? I'm getting out of here. All right? I don't even know why I do this fucking show, for Christ's sake. All right? I got the same stupid, dickless fucking pedophile trolls that fucking follow me around like a bad case of herpes, for fuck's sake. All right? It makes me fucking sick. I can't stand half of you fucking people that listen to my goddamn ghost show, man. I wouldn't piss on you people if you were on fucking fire. You fucking pieces of shit. Jesus fucking Christ. What is it? Put the PC shot. Let me get to these donos. Let me get the fuck out of here. I don't need to be... I'm tired of this fucking shit. All right? I'm going to go kick it in the True Capitalist Radio member chat. I don't need to be putting up with this fucking garbage. And fuck you too, Kirk Johnson. You're a fucking retard that donates a bunch of retarded videos, and it goes to show you what kind of mental pay grade you're working with, you fucking tard. Anyway, Mama Luigi, wait, the Ghost Show this... I don't know if I'm going to do it this Sunday or not. I may do another True Capitalist Radio and just do it exclusively somewhere where I could shut the fucking chat off. All right? Where I could shut the chat off. Let me tell you, I do not like any of you troll terrorist bastards. I don't like any of you. I would not piss on you if you were on fire. I think that you're a waste of life. You're the reason why this country sucks. And that's why you're being goddamn taken over by Juan Valdez and his donkey, you fucking piece of shit. All right? And yeah, do I want a war? Yeah, I fucking want a war because you fucking idiots need some goddamn strife. You people have had it too good for too long, and you young people need some fucking strife, and you need to be kicked in your fucking ass. Fucking piece of trash. Anyway, I don't know what I'm going to do on Sunday there, Mama Luigi. I'll tell you that right now. And then we got Twinkeltard. Something tells me Trump will get Epsteined in jail. I don't think that's going to happen. We got Mad Thad. Did Jesse Smollett get re-released from jail to appeal? I don't fucking keep up with that stupid fucking asshole. Who gives a shit about Jesse Smollett? He takes it up the ass. I don't give a fuck. And Ghost Trans-Pacific Raifu, regarding your negative interest rate, Japan had one.
I'd buy that for $1.
Yeah, fuck you, Vox Artificial. Japan had one a few months ago. The government was urging people to spend money. I also checked up for...
I'd buy that for $1.
Oh, Jesus. Dude, just stop donating me, you fucking pieces of trash, all right? How about that? How about just stop fucking donating me if you fucking hate me so much, you fucking pieces of shit? Jesus Christ. Anyway, I also checked up on a few things for you. Ehud Barak was prime minister. Dude, whatever. Look up the Camp David Accords, you fucking idiot. All right, you know what? Go fuck yourself. Fuck you. And can he be president in jail? I don't fucking know, someone. I don't fucking know. But I'll tell you this. I'm getting out of here. All right? I try to have a serious show, and I got these stupid fucking trolls that I fucking hate. I hate these fucking people. I hate these fucking idiots, man. And I hate their parents. I hate their families. I mean, what kind of fucking retarded people came together and fucked, and out came this stupid, fruity-ass, autistic, fucking obsessed with anime, gameplay, fucking bullshit out of his nutsack. I'm out of this fucking joint, man. Let me tell you something. This is Friday fucking night. Do I need to be putting up with shit from a bunch of people that are going to be fucking waxing their carrot tonight anyway to pedophile cartoons? Huh? Do I need to be here and waste my fucking time with a bunch of rusty trombone playing, Cincinnati bow tie receiving, blue ball blowing, taint tonguing pieces of rose-butted asshole crap? Huh? Do I even need to be here and do this crap? No! I don't think so! Alright? I'm over here giving you guys fucking CIA levels of information. I didn't even get to my goddamn international stuff, which I'll probably do on Saturday, pre-recorded or something, because I'm tired of you fucking pricks! I'm tired of you fucking pricks, man! You're the reason why this country sucks! You're a bunch of ungrateful, spoiled pieces of crap, and you make me want to puke! All of you! All of you! So I'm getting the hell out of here. All right, screw all of you fucking trolls. And let me tell you, all the serious people that listen to the broadcast, I'm sorry. And this is why I'm trying to do a True Capitalist Radio basic membership here and a membership. Because, dude, I don't want to be around these fucking trolls, man. I mean, I'm going to make no more chats optional on this show. All right, we can't have good things anymore because of these pieces of ungrateful, spoiled trash. Ungrateful, spoiled trash. I can't stand you young people, man. You're ruining the country. You're ruining America. And you're wondering why the lines are being blurred with pedophiles and shit. It's because of you. It's because of you people who are obsessed over fucking anime and all this other fucking stupid little child fucking animation bullshit. You're sick. All right? You're fucking sick. If you like fucking anime, if you like that shit, you're a fucking pedophile. And by the way, there's no text-to-speech on this goddamn show, you fucking dickhead. Jesus Christ, I'm getting out of here. Get me out of here. And by the way, I have a couple of fucking donuts from this fucking asshole, these assholes, Kirk Johnson, Fox Artificial, fuck yourselves, all right? Jesus Christ. I'm sorry to the folks that expected some CIA levels of assessment of international news, but I can't take this shit, all right? It's a fucking baller Friday, for Christ's sake. I don't need this kind of crap. I'm getting the fuck out of here. Fuck all you trolls. I hope all you trolls die of cancer of the cock. I'm out of here, you piece of crap. I am out of here. I am out of here. I